Hey everyone, and welcome to the Netherlands. We're about to go on a whirlwind adventure through the land of windmills, canals, and, well, more windmills. Get those clogs ready because we're diving right in. Over the next little bit, we'll be your tour guides to 15 of the most amazing places this country has to offer. Think charming canals, picturesque towns, and enough cheese to satisfy even the hungriest mouse. We're talking about a country so flat, you could practically see your own reflection in the landscape. Just kidding, but seriously, get ready for some stunning scenery, because the Netherlands is as easy on the eyes as it is on the feet. So buckle up, grab your stroopwafels, and get ready for the ride. We're about to embark on an unforgettable journey through the Netherlands. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. First stop, Amsterdam. You know Amsterdam, right? Canals, bicycles, more bicycles. It's like everyone here is training for the Tour de France. But seriously, folks, Amsterdam is amazing. This city is a beautiful mix of old and new, with charming canals lined with historic houses. Imagine taking a boat ride, the gentle rocking of the water, the sun on your face, and then you realize you have to duck because you're about to hit a bridge. It's all part of the experience. And speaking of experiences, you have to check out the Rijksmuseum, home to masterpieces by Rembrandt and Vermeer. It's an art lover's dream. And if you're a Van Gogh fan, well, there's a whole museum dedicated to him too. But Amsterdam isn't just about art and canals. It's also a city that knows how to have a good time. When the sun goes down, the city comes alive with a vibrant nightlife. Just remember, what happens in Amsterdam? Well, you know the rest. Now, let's talk about the Jordaan district. This former working-class neighborhood is now a trendy hub with vintage shops, art galleries, and some of the best restaurants in the city. It's like stepping back in time, but with better coffee. And speaking of coffee, Amsterdam is known for its, shall we say, relaxed atmosphere. But hey, we're not here to judge, we're just here to soak up the culture, and maybe enjoy a stroopwafel or two. But there's more to Amsterdam than just the canals and the Jordaan. Take a stroll through Vondel Park, Amsterdam's answer to Central Park, or visit the Anne Frank House, a powerful reminder of the city's history. So, whether you're an art enthusiast, a history buff, or just looking for a good time, Amsterdam has something for everyone. Just be sure to watch out for those bicycles. Okay, everyone, get ready to say "Aw" because we're headed to Giethoorn, a village so cute it should be illegal. Seriously, this place is like something out of a fairy tale. Imagine a place with no cars, just canals. Yes, you heard that right. No cars, just boats. They call it the Venice of the Netherlands, but honestly, I think it's even more charming. You can rent a boat and explore the canals, passing by adorable thatched roof houses with perfectly manicured gardens. It's so peaceful and serene, you'll feel your blood pressure dropping just thinking about it. And the best part? You can actually stay in one of these charming canal-side houses. Imagine waking up to the sound of birds chirping and the gentle lapping of water against the dock. It's the perfect place to escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ellen, this place sounds way too quiet for you. And you're right, I do love a good party. But there's something so magical about the peace and quiet of Giethoorn. Take a walk along the canals, breathe in the fresh air, and just enjoy the scenery. Or rent a bike and explore the surrounding countryside. It's the perfect place to reconnect with nature and forget about your worries. And if you're looking for something a little more active, you can always go for a swim in the lake or rent a kayak. Just try not to fall in because I'm not sure they have lifeguards who can handle a rescue in a canal. So there you have it. Giethoorn, the village that's so cute it hurts. If you're looking for a truly unique and unforgettable experience, this is the place to be. Just be prepared to leave a little piece of your heart behind. Welcome to Rotterdam, you guys. Rotterdam's all about modern architecture and edgy vibes. Heavily bombed in woe, it rebuilt into something amazing. Check out the cube houses like something from Inception, and the Erasmus Bridge nicknamed the Swan. The Markthal is foodie heaven. Rotterdam is bold, daring, and constantly reinventing itself. Rotterdam, you keep doing you. Rotterdam isn't just about futuristic buildings. It's a city with a rich maritime history and one of the world's largest harbors. massive cargo ships and cranes lifting containers. But Rotterdam also blends industrial grit with a thriving art scene. Wander through Museum Park, home to the Kunsthal and the Natural History Museum. Check out Witte de Witstraat, bursting with art galleries and cafes. For unconventional art, visit the Street Art Museum. Discover vibrant murals and graffiti. Rotterdam has something for everyone, a place where industry and art collide, discovering these unexpected gems. Welcome to The Hague, the political heart of the Netherlands. It's home to the International Court of Justice and the stunning Peace Palace. But The Hague isn't all serious business. Enjoy its vibrant streets, historic Binnenhof, and world-renowned Mauritshuis Museum. From shopping to dining, The Hague has it all. The Hague has a surprise for you. Just a short tram ride away, you'll find Scheveningen, a bustling seaside resort town. Sandy beaches, a pier with amusement park rides, and beach bars await. Spend your day soaking up the sun or trying kite surfing. Take a dip in the North Sea. Enjoy a drink and live music at sunset. The perfect way to end a day in this charming seaside town. Get ready to be charmed, everybody, because we're off to Utrecht. This city is effortlessly cool with a relaxed bohemian vibe. Canals wind through the city like ribbons. The historic center is straight out of a fairy tale. Don't miss the Dom Tower, Utrecht's iconic landmark. This Gothic masterpiece has watched over the city for centuries. It's even more impressive in person. Climb all 465 steps for panoramic views. Maybe take the elevator back down if you're wearing heels. The real magic of Utrecht lies in its canals. They're lined with adorable wharf cellars. These have been transformed into cozy cafes, restaurants, and boutiques. Imagine sipping coffee right on the water's edge, watching the boats go by. It's the definition of gezellig, Dutch for cozy and convivial. It's like Hague, but with canals and stroopwafels. Utrecht is a foodie paradise. From Michelin-starred restaurants to street food stalls serving Dutch classics like bitterballen, deep-fried balls of meaty goodness. For dessert, try a stroopwafel, a thin waffle cookie with caramel syrup. It's like a hug for your taste buds. Utrecht is special with its young, vibrant energy. Home to many students, there's always something happening. From live music to film festivals or friends at canalside bars, Utrecht knows how to have fun. And for culture, you're in luck. Utrecht has a thriving art scene with museums like the Centraal Museum and the Museum Speelklok. Trust me, it's cooler than it sounds. Wandering Utrecht's streets is a joy. Get lost in cobblestone streets, pop into charming shops, and enjoy the laid-back vibe. Discover hidden gems. Whether you're a history buff, a foodie, or love vibrant cities, Utrecht blends old charm with modern cool. It's like a friend always up for adventure, but also appreciating simple joys. We could all use a bit of Utrecht. Now, if you're like me and you love a good adventure, you have to check out the caves of Maastricht. They're like an underground city. During World War II, people even hid out down there. Talk about a conversation starter. And when you're done exploring the underworld, head back up to street level and wander around the charming squares. The Vrijthof is a must-see. It's surrounded by beautiful buildings, cafes, and restaurants. It's the perfect place to relax with a cup of coffee and soak up the atmosphere. Oh, and speaking of atmosphere, Maastricht is also home to one of the oldest universities in the Netherlands. That means lots of students, which means lots of energy, which means lots of fun. Plus, education and stuff. So, whether you're a history buff, a foodie, or just looking for a charming European getaway, Maastricht has something for everyone. Just be prepared to say gezellig a lot, because this city is the definition of cozy. Okay, everyone, get ready to say cheese, because we're headed to Delft, the home of those iconic blue and white ceramics. You know the ones I'm talking about? They're like the Dutch version of a souvenir snow globe, but way more stylish. Now, I know what you're thinking, Ellen. I've seen enough blue and white plates to last a lifetime. But trust me on this one. Delft is so much more than just pottery. It's a charming city with canals, bridges, and those adorable little Dutch houses that look like they belong in a storybook. Speaking of storybooks, Delft has a pretty fascinating history. It was actually a major center of trade and commerce back in the day. And get this, it was even the birthplace of the famous painter Johannes Vermeer. You know, the guy who painted Girl with a Pearl Earring? So cultured. One of my favorite things to do in Delft is just stroll along the canals and soak up the atmosphere. It's so peaceful and picturesque, it's like stepping back in time. And if you're lucky, you might even catch a glimpse of a swan or two gliding along the water. So graceful. And if you're looking for a little more excitement, be sure to check out the Markt, Delft's central square. It's surrounded by historic buildings, including the Nieuwe Kerk, a stunning Gothic church with a leaning tower. Don't worry, it's not as dramatic as the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but it's still pretty impressive. And of course, no trip to Delft would be complete without a visit to a pottery factory. You can watch the artisans at work, painting those intricate designs by hand. It's truly amazing to see their skill and precision. And hey, maybe you'll even be inspired to pick up a paintbrush yourself. So, there you have it. Delft, a charming city with a rich history, stunning architecture, and of course those iconic blue and white ceramics. Get ready to trade in your noise-canceling headphones for the gentle sounds of nature, because we're headed to Giethoorn, a fairy tale village where cars are basically extinct. I know, right? It's like stepping into a time machine, but instead of going back to the future, we're going back to a simpler time. Now you might be wondering, Ellen, how do people get around without cars? Well, my friends, they use boats. And not just any boats, these are adorable little wooden boats called punters that you can actually rent and navigate yourself. Don't worry, they're pretty easy to steer, even if you're as directionally challenged as I am. But Giethoorn isn't just about the boats, it's about the whole experience. Imagine gliding along the canals, past charming thatched roof houses, lush gardens, and quaint little bridges. It's so peaceful and idyllic, you'll feel your stress melt away with every passing moment. And the best part? It's practically silent. Well, except for the occasional quacking duck or the gentle lapping of the water against your boat, it's like a little slice of heaven on earth. Now I know what you're thinking, Ellen, this all sounds lovely, but what is there to do in Giethoorn besides float around on a boat? Well, for starters, you can simply relax and soak up the scenery. Trust me, it's the most beautiful and serene place to just unwind and forget about your worries. But if you're looking for a little more activity, you can always explore the village on foot. There are plenty of charming shops, cafes, and restaurants to discover, all within walking distance of the canals. And hey, maybe you'll even find a souvenir or two to take home. And for those of you who are feeling adventurous, you can rent a bike and explore the surrounding countryside. It's flat as a pancake, so you won't break a sweat, and the scenery is absolutely breathtaking. Just imagine cycling past fields of tulips, windmills spinning in the distance, and the fresh country air filling your lungs. So there you have it, Giethoorn, a magical village where time seems to stand still. It's the perfect place to escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life and reconnect with nature, with your loved ones, and most importantly, with yourself. Welcome to Zaanse Schans, everybody. Get ready to be blown away. Not by the windmills, hopefully, but by the sheer beauty of this place. Imagine a postcard coming to life. That's Zaanse Schans for you. It's like stepping back in time to a world of windmills, wooden houses, and workshops where they make everything from cheese to clogs. I hear they even have a clog museum, a whole museum dedicated to wooden shoes. You know, the ones that make that clomp clomp sound? I've got to get me a pair of those. So, Zaanse Schans is famous for its windmills, and rightfully so, they're iconic. But there's so much more to see and do here. You can wander around the historic houses, peek into the workshops, and see traditional crafts being made. You can even learn how to make your own pair of clogs. Wouldn't that be something? And if all that walking makes you hungry, don't worry. They have plenty of restaurants and cafes where you can enjoy some delicious Dutch treats. Stroopwafels, anyone? Zaanse Schans is a feast for the eyes, a journey back in time, and a reminder that some things never go out of style. It's a definite must-see when you're in the Netherlands. Get ready to be dazzled, people, because we're off to Keukenhof Gardens, also known as the Garden of Europe. And let me tell you, it's like walking into a real-life explosion of color. Imagine millions of tulips, daffodils, hyacinths, all in bloom, creating a breathtaking tapestry of colors. It's so beautiful, it might bring a tear to your eye. But don't worry, that's just the pollen. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, flowers really, Ellen? But hold on, Keukenhof is not just any garden, it's an experience. They have themed gardens, inspiring flower shows, and even a petting zoo for the little ones. And for the not-so-little ones, there are plenty of places to eat, relax, and soak in all that floral goodness. And the best time to visit? Spring, of course. That's when the tulips are in full bloom, and the gardens are transformed into a magical wonderland. Keukenhof Gardens, folks, put it on your bucket list. You won't regret it. Hold on to your hats, everyone, because we're headed to Kinderdijk, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and home to, you guessed it, even more windmills. But these aren't just any windmills. These are 19 beautifully preserved windmills, all in a row, standing tall and proud against the Dutch landscape. It's a sight that'll take your breath away. These windmills have been around for centuries, tirelessly working to keep the Netherlands dry. Talk about dedication, right? At Kinderdijk, you can step back in time and experience what life was like in a time when windmills ruled the world. Well, maybe not the whole world, but definitely the Netherlands. You can explore the inside of a windmill, learn how they work, and even meet the miller. I hear he's got some great stories to tell. And after you've had your fill of windmills, take a stroll or bike ride along the picturesque canals and soak in the peace and quiet of the Dutch countryside. Kinderdijk is a reminder of the ingenuity of the Dutch people and the beauty of preserving our history. So put on your walking shoes, grab your camera, and get ready to be amazed. Welcome to the Wadden Islands, everyone. You know, when I think islands, I think sunshine, beaches, maybe a fruity drink with a little umbrella in it. And guess what? The Wadden Islands have all that. But that's not all, folks. These islands are actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Can you believe that? You've got nature reserves, charming villages, and more ways to enjoy the outdoors than you can shake a beach umbrella at. And speaking of beaches, these are some of the most beautiful in the Netherlands. We're talking miles of pristine sand, perfect for sunbathing, building sandcastles. Or, you know, practicing your sandcastle building skills for the World Championship. Hey, you never know. So, if you're looking for a little island getaway with a Dutch twist, the Wadden Islands are calling your name. Just promise me you'll send a postcard, okay? Now, I know what you're thinking. Ellen, there are 3 islands to choose from. How am I supposed to decide? Don't worry, I've got you covered. First up, we have Texel, the largest of the islands. If you're into wildlife, this is the place to be. We're talking seals, birds, you name it. Plus, they have sheep. A lot of sheep. And you know how I feel about sheep? Adorable. Then there's Terschelling, known for its beautiful beaches and charming villages. It's the perfect place to relax, unwind, and maybe try some fresh seafood. Because when in Terschelling, right? And finally, we have Vlieland, the smallest of the 3 islands. Now, this island is all about peace and quiet. There are no cars allowed, so you can just bike or walk everywhere. It's like stepping back in time, but with better snacks. Okay, nature lovers, this one's for you. Get ready for National Park de Hoge, a place so beautiful, it'll make you want to hug a tree. Don't actually hug the trees, though. They're just trying to live their best lives. We're talking forests, heathlands, sand dunes. It's like all the best parts of nature got together and had a party. And the best part is, you're invited. You can explore by bike, on foot, or even on one of their free-to-use white bikes. How cool is that? And if you're lucky, you might even spot some wildlife. We're talking deer, wild boar, maybe even a fox or 2. Just don't try to make friends with the wild boar. They're not as cuddly as they look. So pack your hiking boots, grab your binoculars, and get ready to experience the great outdoors Dutch style. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ellen, this all sounds great, but what about culture? What about art? don't you worry your art-loving hearts because De Hoge Veluwe has that too. Right in the middle of the park, you'll find the Kroller-Muller Museum, home to an incredible collection of modern and contemporary art. We're talking Van Gogh, Picasso, Mondrian, the gang's all here. And the museum itself is an architectural masterpiece, blending seamlessly with the surrounding nature. It's like the building itself is a work of art. They really thought of everything. So, whether you're an art aficionado or just appreciate a good painting, the Kroller-Muller Museum is a must-see. Just try not to touch anything, okay? Those security guards are serious about their art. Okay, so we've explored charming towns, biked through tulip fields, even seen windmills that could power a dance party. But you know what's missing? Beach time. And no, canals don't count. We're headed to Scheveningen, the place to be for sun, sand, and, well, maybe a little wind. Now I gotta warn you, the Dutch word Scheveningen might sound like a sneeze coming on, but trust me, this place is anything but stuffy. Imagine a beach so wide you could practice your golf swing, build a sandcastle bigger than your house, and still have room for a whole flock of seagulls doing the Macarena. And the North Sea, well, it's not exactly the balmy waters of Fiji, let's just say that. But hey, who needs tropical fish when you can have windsurfers zipping around like they're auditioning for Aquaman 2? It's a sight to see, folks. Just remember your sunscreen. And maybe a wetsuit. Speaking of sights, let's talk about the pièce de résistance, the Scheveningen Pier. This ain't your grandma's pier with a creaky old Ferris wheel and a guy selling saltwater taffy. Oh no, this pier is next level awesome, with rides, restaurants, even bungee jumping for the adrenaline junkies out there. We'll explore it more in a bit, but first, let's catch some rays. Alright, sunscreen's on, towels are down, we've built a sandcastle masterpiece. Time to hit that pier. This pier has it all. Restaurants with views, even for French fries. Everything tastes better with ocean breeze. And the rides? Amazing. Ferris wheels so high you can see Denmark. Roller coasters, zip lines, and more. Soar like a seagull or a terrified pigeon. Some rides might make you queasy, but that's what funnel cake is for. Feeling brave? Try bungee jumping. Me? I'll enjoy the view. And maybe a nap. Scheveningen, soak up the sun, conquer heights, and try Dutch delicacies. Embrace the peer pressure. Okay, let's be real, we've all got that one friend, right? The one who's effortlessly cool, always knows the best spots, and makes you feel like you should be wearing cooler shoes. Well, in the Netherlands, Haarlem is that friend. It's like Amsterdam's hipper, more laid-back sibling, the one who's always up for a good time but doesn't need all the fuss. And listen, I love Amsterdam, I really do. But sometimes you just want to stroll through charming streets without getting run over by a bicycle, you know? Haarlem gets it. It's got all the charm, the canals, the cute little cafes, but with a more relaxed, small-town vibe. It's like stepping into a storybook, only with better snacks. And speaking of snacks, let's talk about the food scene in Haarlem, because it's seriously next level. Forget those tourist traps selling overpriced waffles. In Haarlem, you'll find hidden gems tucked away in alleyways, serving up delicious Dutch specialties that'll have you saying, "Eat smakelijk." That's bon appetit in Dutch, you're welcome, before you can say stroopwafel. But don't let the quaintness fool you, folks. Haarlem's got a wild side too. We're talking a vibrant nightlife, with cozy pubs, live music venues, and enough Genever, that's Dutch gin, get ready for a good time, to make you forget you ever thought windmills were interesting. Alright, maybe not, but it's close. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ellen, this all sounds great, but what about the culture, the history, the museums? Don't you worry your pretty little heads, because Haarlem's got you covered. This town is practically bursting with history, dating back to, like, the Middle Ages, which is way before Netflix, can you believe it? And the best part is, they've managed to preserve it all, so you can wander through cobblestone streets, admire the architecture, and pretend like you're in a Jane Austen novel. Just try not to trip over any cobblestones while you're busy swooning over the scenery. Of course, no trip to Haarlem would be complete without a visit to the Grote Kerk or St. Bavo Church. This place is iconic, folks, with a tower so tall, it makes the Leaning Tower of Pisa look like it's just having a lazy day. And inside, well, let's just say it's even more impressive with stained glass windows that'll take your breath away, a pipe organ that could probably play itself, and enough history to make your head spin. But hey, if churches aren't your thing, there's always the Tylers Museum, one of the oldest museums in the Netherlands. We're talking dinosaur bones, scientific instruments, old paintings. It's like a history nerd's dream come true. And who knows, you might even learn a thing or two. But hey, no pressure, you're on vacation. Alright everyone, that's all she wrote for our super fast trip around the Netherlands. From the waterways of Amsterdam to those cool windmills in Kinderdijk, the sandy beaches of Scheveningen, and the cute little streets of Haarlem, we've seen it all. I hope you had as much fun watching this crazy adventure as I did making it. We've giggled, we've tried to learn some Dutch words, maybe we got a few right, and we've definitely eaten a ton of stroopwafels. Seriously, a ton. But the best part is, we've seen how beautiful, how interesting, and how totally charming this amazing country is. So, whether this is your first time thinking about visiting or your 10th, I hope this video makes you want to put the Netherlands on your list of places to go. And hey, if you do come visit, remember to bring your adventurous spirit, your hunger for yummy food, and maybe even grab a pair of those wooden shoes. You know, as a little something to remember your trip. Thanks for coming along with us on this awesome trip through the Netherlands. We hope you got some great ideas for your next vacation. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe for more travel videos and helpful tips. See you later.